Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 33 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be selecting files. So like before, we show the final result. So now we have three buttons. One is to browse the files. We can select some files. We have a browse folder. We can select folders like this and select it. And then if we write save as, this we can like save another thing as their name like this. But keep in mind, this save as only gives you the location of where the user wants to save it. They don't actually save it for you. You need to write that code by yourself. Alright, now let's import PySimpleGUI. We're gonna make the layout. So there's the file browse, and then there's the text that it shows. Then behind it, there's an input text element, and then we write the window making process, Python learning, layout, while true, event and values equals window.read. We can print the event. If event equals none, then we break, and then we close the window at the end. Okay, so this is what we got to last class with the browse files, and then you can select the file that you want to use. But now we can also select folders. So the element is called sg.folder browse. Oh, sorry, period instead of comma. Folder browse. Like last time, they have basically the same attributes. The first one we have is the button text, which if we don't specify, it's defaulted. So we can say like browse folders with an input text element behind it. Like this, we press browse folders, and we can select one of the folders and select it. So now we have a folder right here. As opposed to files, you have to select an actual file inside the folders. Alright, so those are browsing files and folders. Now to save, we use the element sg.fileSaveAs. And then like before, the attributes are the same. The text, we can say save as, and then we can put an input text box after it, like this. And then now, when we press save as, we can use another one of our files and edit over it like this. But again, if you want to actually save the file on your computer, you have to code that. This just gives the location of where to save it. Alright, so after these three, let's see where the default for the value goes. So right now we only have one input text element, so it always comes to this one. Like if we click browse folders and we click pictures, then it always comes to this one. But what if we had another input text element behind this one? Like we add another input text element like this, and now we have two. Do you think it would come to this one or this one? We press folders, select it, and as we can tell, it goes to this one, the most right text element. Now what if we had folders on the left of this button? We can add some in front, sg.input text element. We can add two, like this, and then now it's really long, like this. If we click browse files, select it, then we'll see it's the most right one to the left of the button, like this. If we only have one to the left, let's see if it goes to the left or right. If we only have one to the left, then it would automatically go to the one on the left. Alright, so that's a cool thing to know, But in order to have some control over this, we can use an attribute called target. So if target is, let's give all of these a key first. So the key is A, and we can just Control C, Control V this. Key, but change A to B, A to C, and A to D. Now, if we write the target as A, even if the default goes to B, it will always come to A. So now let's show it. It comes to A. Now let's change the target to B and test it out. Yes, so now it comes to B right here. And then C would be this one. Let's test it out. I'll change it to C. Like this. Select file, folder, sorry. Yes, and now this would be C. And lastly, D should be this one. So we change this target to D. And we run it. And now it comes here. Alright, so the input text element, there's many different ways to see. And by the way, I only showed this on folder browse, but this also works the same for file browse and file save as. It works the exact same. You can test it out if you don't believe me. And alright, let's get rid of these input text elements because they're too wide. Like this. Alright, now you might be wondering, what would happen if we don't have an input text element on that line? Like for example, we erased the input text element on the save as line, and now, do you think the save as input text would go to the next line? Let's test it out. We select one, and if you notice, if there's no input text elements on the line the button resides on, then it won't show up on any of the input text elements. But that's still fine. We can still get the pathway to the file just using a different method. So in order to still get the value, we simply add a key to the button. Let's call this saving, and we can enable events so we will know when someone selected something. Enable events is true. Then we can print values here. This way we will get to know the values of this. And since the key is saving, that's what we'll be looking for. And now when we press save as, and let's select this one again, in the values that's printed out for the key saving, the value is the location. So even if without the input text element, you can still get the value. Alright, that concludes lesson 33 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, work, code, succeed, with work for tuition's lead.